Stop being so needy. I'm allowed to have guys buy me drinks, she said at the bar. I closed the tab and left. Now she sent me 50+ texts begging me back. Turns out she's needier than I am. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, I need to get this off my chest. I'm 28, work as a software engineer, and I've always prided myself on being the reliable type. The guy who shows up, puts in the effort, and doesn't make a fuss. For the past 2 years, that's exactly what I was in my relationship with Sarah. We met through mutual friends back in college, hit it off over shared interests like hiking and binge-watching sci-fi shows, and things progressed naturally. At first, it felt balanced. I'd plan thoughtful dates, like picnics in the park or road trips to nearby towns, and she'd bring this bubbly energy that made everything fun. But looking back, the red flags were there early on, and I ignored them because I didn't want to seem controlling. Sarah was always the social butterfly, thriving on attention from her circle of friends, and, increasingly, from strangers online. She dreamed of becoming an influencer, posting selfies and stories from nights out, always with that perfect filter and caption. I'd like and comment supportively, even when it stung a bit seeing her tag locations I wasn't invited to. Girls' night, she'd say, and I'd nod, trusting her. What really started wearing me down was how one-sided things became. I'd sacrifice my weekends to help her with her side gigs, editing her photos, driving her to events, even covering some bills when her freelance graphic design work dried up between clients. Remember that time she lost a big project because she partied too hard the night before? I stayed up late helping her redo it from scratch, coffee in hand, while she slept off her hangover. Or when her car broke down, and I loaned her mine for a week, taking the bus to work in the rain. I did it without complaint because that's what you do for someone you care about. Yet, whenever I'd express any concern, like asking about her late nights or why she was always on her phone during our dates, she'd flip it back on me. You're being paranoid, she'd say, or I need space to be myself. It made me question if I was the problem. Was I too needy for wanting basic respect? I'd internalize it, try to give her more freedom, but it only escalated. She'd compare me to other guys in subtle ways. My friend Jess's boyfriend takes her on spontaneous trips. Why don't we do that? Never mind that I was saving for a down payment on an apartment, thinking about our future. The emotional abandonment crept in slowly. Our conversations turned superficial. She'd scroll through social media while I talked about my day, only perking up to show me some viral video. Intimacy faded too. She'd brush off my attempts at affection with "I'm tired" or "not now." But online, she was all energy, responding to comments from random dudes with heart emojis and "thanks babe." I'd see the notifications pop up when we were together, and it'd twist my gut. Still, I held back, not wanting a fight. I convinced myself it was harmless, that she was just outgoing. Deep down, though, I felt like a backup plan, always there when the excitement wore off. It all came to a head last Friday night. We'd planned a date, nothing fancy, just drinks at a local bar downtown to unwind after a long week. I was looking forward to it. Work had been stressful with a big project deadline, and I thought some quality time would recharge us. I got there first, grabbed a booth, and ordered our usuals. When Sarah arrived, she looked stunning as always, but her energy was off, distracted, checking her reflection in her phone. We started chatting, but within minutes, a group of guys at the bar caught her eye. She waved at one of them, some acquaintance from her networking events, and before I knew it, she was over there laughing. I sat alone, nursing my beer, telling myself it was fine. But then I saw it. One of the guys bought her a shot, and she accepted with a flirtatious grin, tossing her hair back. When she came back to the table, shot in hand, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Sarah, what's going on? We're on a date. Why are you letting other guys buy you drinks?" I asked, keeping my voice low, not wanting to make a scene. She rolled her eyes, setting the glass down with a clink. "Oh my God, Alex, stop being so needy. I'm allowed to have guys buy me drinks. It's not a big deal, it's just fun. You're acting like I'm cheating or something." I felt my stomach drop. It's disrespectful. We're together. It makes me feel like I'm not enough. She laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound that echoed in my ears. Disrespectful? Please. Real men don't get jealous over a free drink. If you can't handle me having a social life, that's your problem. I need excitement, not someone clipping my wings with insecurity. Her words hit like a punch. Twisted logic poured out. Look, in this day and age, women can be independent. I don't need you hovering. If a guy wants to buy me a drink, it's empowering. You're the one making it weird by being possessive. I stared at her, the bar noise fading into a hum. All those sacrifices flashed through my mind. The late nights, the support, the patience. And here she was, smug and entitled, turning my valid feelings into a flaw. No apology, no empathy, just justification wrapped in condescension. Okay, I said simply, my voice steady despite the storm inside. I pulled out my wallet, closed out the tab with the bartender, and stood up. She blinked, surprised, but I didn't wait for more. I walked out into the cool night air, leaving her there with her empowering drink. That walk home was a blur. I didn't rage or cry. I just felt this heavy confusion settle in. Why had I let it get this far? Sitting on my couch later, staring at the blank TV, I replayed every moment. The unfairness gnawed at me, how she'd manipulated my loyalty into something to mock. I thought about texting her, demanding an explanation, but what was the point? She'd just twisted again. Instead, I turned off my phone and went to bed, the silence deafening. The next morning, I woke up to a few missed texts from her, casual stuff like, "Where'd you go?" And that was dramatic. No remorse. I didn't respond. By afternoon, I decided it was over. I packed up the few things she had at my place, her spare clothes, makeup bag, and dropped them off at her apartment building's front desk with a note. We're done. Then, I blocked her number temporarily, just to give myself space. Not out of spite, but self-preservation. For the first few days, I let the betrayal simmer. Work became my anchor. I threw myself into that project, earning praise from my boss and even a hint at a promotion. Evenings, I'd hit the gym, something I neglected while accommodating her schedule. The physical burn helped clear my head. I'd cook meals for one, listen to podcasts, and reflect. Flashbacks hit hard, remembering how I'd cancel plans with my buddies to be available for her emergencies, only for her to bail on our dates for spontaneous outings. The confusion lingered. Had I been too giving? Too blind? But slowly, the hurt shifted to clarity. I wasn't needy. I was committed, and she exploited that. Mutual friends started reaching out, confused. What happened? Sarah said you overreacted. I kept it brief. It wasn't working. No bad-mouthing. I didn't need to. One or two pressed, but I changed the subject. In the quiet, I rebuilt routines, reading books I'd shelved, hiking solo on weekends, even signing up for a coding workshop. It felt liberating, like shedding dead weight. The unfairness still stung. Why did she get to walk all over me without consequence? But I focused on moving forward, one deliberate step at a time. A week in, the silence broke. Unblocking her to check if she'd picked up her stuff, I saw the flood begin. But that's for later. Right now, I'm just processing how I got here. A week turned into 2, and that's when the karma started rolling in, at least from what I pieced together through the grapevine. I wasn't stalking her or anything. I made a point to stay off social media entirely during those early days, deleting the apps to avoid the temptation. But mutual friends, good ones, the kind who actually cared about both sides, started filling in the blanks without me asking. It turns out Sarah dove headfirst into that independent life she preached about, but it backfired spectacularly. From what I heard, the guy from the bar, the one who'd bought her that shot, became her new go-to. Let's call him Mike. He was some mid-level sales rep with a flashy watch and a knack for smooth talk. She posted about their adventures online, all filtered photos of late-night outings and braggy captions like "living free #no strings." Friends said she was out every night, chasing that excitement she accused me of lacking. But Mike? He wasn't the knight she imagined. Turns out he was a serial dater, the type who collects conquests like trophies. After a couple of weeks of hooking up, he ghosted her hard, blocked her number, deleted her from his follows, the works. One friend overheard her venting at a coffee shop. He said I was too clingy. Can you believe that? The irony wasn't lost on me, but I didn't gloat. Instead, it piled on. Her freelance work suffered. Those late nights led to missed deadlines, and she lost a major client, the one that paid her rent. Hungover Zoom calls don't impress, apparently. Her girls' nights crew started pulling away too. They got tired of her drama, the constant complaints about how men suck, while conveniently forgetting her role in it. Socially, she unraveled. Posts went from glamorous to desperate, like vague booking about fake people and learning lessons the hard way. Financially, she was scraping by, dipping into savings she'd built partly from gigs I'd helped her land. I sat with all this info during quiet evenings, processing the unfairness that had once consumed me. Why did she get to disrespect me publicly and then face consequences? But as the days passed, that question faded. I was too busy thriving in the space I'd carved out. My work project wrapped successfully, landing me that promotion, a nice bump in pay and remote flexibility. I used it to plan a solo trip, something I'd always wanted but postponed for her. The gym routine stuck. I dropped a few pounds, felt stronger. Even started volunteering at a local tech meetup, meeting people who valued reliability without exploiting it. The betrayals still echoed faintly, like a bad dream, but it no longer defined my days. I was detaching for real, and it felt earned. Then, the outreach began. It started subtle, about 3 weeks after the bar incident. I'd unblocked her earlier to handle some shared streaming account logistics. Nothing emotional, just practical. That's when the texts flooded in. At first, it was testing the waters. Hey, can we talk? I miss our hikes. I didn't respond. A day later, Alex, that night was a misunderstanding. I was stressed from work. Still nothing from me. By the fourth message, the tone shifted to excuses. You overreacted. It was just a drink. Why throw everything away over that? I finally replied with a single line. It's done. But that opened the door, and she barreled through. The attempts escalated quickly, revealing cracks in her facade. One evening, my phone rang, her number. I let it go to voicemail, but curiosity made me listen later. Alex, pick up, please. I know I was harsh, but you have to understand, I felt trapped. You were always so available. It made me take you for granted. But now, everything's falling apart without you. Mike was a jerk. He used me and left. My job's a mess, and I can't sleep. Can we meet? I need to see you. Her voice cracked, laced with that same twisted logic, blaming me for being too good, while admitting her hypocrisy. No real apology, just I need you. I deleted it without calling back. A few days later, it got more desperate. Texts piled up. Why are you ignoring me? This is childish. Then, I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. Let's start over. By the 20th message, anger seeped in. Fine, be that way. You were always too sensitive anyway. But the next one flipped back. Please, Alex. I can't do this alone. Remember how you helped me with my portfolio? I need that again. That's when her circle got involved. Toxic and unpleasant, just like the plan. Her sister, who I'd never gotten along with, texted from an unknown number. Dude, grow up. Sarah's going through hell because of your ego. She said you walked out like a baby. Family sticks together. Talk to her. I blocked it. Then a mutual friend, someone she'd manipulated, called. Hey man, Sarah's really down. She told me everything. Said she was just flirting for fun. No big deal. You're punishing her over nothing. Come on, give her a chance. The conversation was dialogue heavy and revealing. Alex, it's me, Jen. Sarah's crashing at my place. She's a wreck. Crying about how she screwed up. Jen, I'm not interested in discussing this. But she explained it all. Said you were jealous, but it was harmless. Guys buy drinks all the time. It's not cheating. She's learned her lesson. Cut her some slack. Her lesson isn't my problem. We're over. Wow, cold. She said you'd be like this, stubborn. Her mom's worried too. Thinks you owe her closure. At least meet up. No. And tell her to stop involving people. Goodbye. I hung up, the power reversal clear. They were scrambling, while I held firm. But Sarah didn't stop. An in-person ambush came next, about a month post-breakup. I was leaving the gym when I saw her waiting by my car, looking disheveled, hair messy, eyes red. Her best friend hovered nearby, arms crossed like a bodyguard. Alex, she called, rushing over. We need to talk. Now. I kept walking, unlocking my door. There's nothing to say. She grabbed my arm lightly, desperate. Please. I've been texting you nonstop. 50 messages, easy. I get it. I was smug, dismissive. But Mike? He was abusive, ghosted me after everything. I'm broke, alone. I see now how good you were. Let's fix this. Her friend chimed in, unpleasant as ever. Yeah, man. She's changed. You gonna make her beg? That's low. I pulled away calmly. Sarah, you said I was needy. Now look at you, bombarding me, dragging friends into it. Your true colors showed that night. I'm not interested. She teared up, voice rising. How can you be so heartless? After 2 years? I thought you loved me. Loved? Maybe. But that's past tense. Move on, like you told me to. I got in my car and drove off, her pleas fading in the rearview. The desperation peaked there, flipping to rage and follow-up texts. You're a coward. Enjoy your boring life. But it only confirmed I'd dodged a bullet. The final nail came at our mutual friend Tom's birthday party last weekend. Neutral ground. A backyard barbecue with about 20 people. I debated skipping, but why hide? I showed up feeling good, new clothes from my promotion bonus, chatting easily with folks about my upcoming trip. Sarah was there, uninvited by me, looking out of place, forced smile, solo cup in hand, glancing my way constantly. Midway through, she cornered me by the grill during a lull. Public setting, but she didn't care, desperation on full display. Alex, can we step aside? Please. I've been thinking. I was wrong. So wrong. Life without you sucks. Bills piling up, no one to talk to. Remember our sci-fi marathons? I miss that. Us. People nearby shifted awkwardly, sensing the vibe. I stayed composed, sipping my drink. Sarah, stop. You've said enough, in texts, calls, through your family. It's irrelevant now. But I need you back. I'll change. No more bars, no flirting. Just give me a chance. Her voice cracked, drawing stares. The hypocrisy hung thick. The woman who'd called me needy, now begging publicly. I met her eyes, indifferent. You had your chance. I built a life without the drama. Better job, real friends, peace. You're a chapter closed. Move on. She flushed, anger flashing. Fine. You'll regret this. You're nothing without me. But as she stormed off, tripping slightly on the grass, the reversal was crystal. She was desperate, isolated. I was thriving, surrounded by support. Tom pulled me aside later. Dude, good call. We all saw her true side now. That night, I blocked her for good. Texts, socials, everything. No more outreach. Turns out, she's needier than I ever was. Update. Thanks for the comments, Reddit. Reading them helped solidify I wasn't the asshole. Life's good. Booked that trip, even met someone new at the meetup. Casual for now, but she values what I bring without the games. Lesson learned. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.